This is Tim Campbell, and you're watching Up Next. When I lived in San Diego, I randomly had a program called MTV Music Generator, and it was just a really basic loop editing program. I don't know, it was really nothing too industry standard, and I just found myself playing with that a lot, and it just kind of stuck with me. My favorite part about engineering is probably when you get a new piece of gear and just to try it out. When you get a new microphone, maybe try out the combos with different mic preamps and different instruments, different voices, and all the combos you can make with it, or getting a whole new software program or software instrument. Really just getting new things and tweaking them and playing with them. Logic Pro and Pro Tools. Just having things prepared, rehearsed, and ready to go when you come into the studio. Another thing is, it'd be nice to start seeing more artists come in if they're bringing in an instrumental, like a hip hop artist, or bringing in a beat, to have it purchased and all tracked out. If I had all the tracks and then I put all their vocals down, you get a much better mix having control of all the instruments. I grew up mostly listening to punk, ska, and reggae, kind of the whole West Coast scene. That led me more into traditional reggae, but me learning instruments, bass and guitar, started with reggae music, and just I fell in love with that. Pop punk, yeah, mostly punk, ska, and reggae. Honestly, I have no idea where the music industry is heading, but I'm hoping it reverts back to about 20 years ago when things were a little bit more organic, less synthesized. Nothing against synthesizers, but it would be nice to kind of see it get back to more audio, more real audio. Right now, I follow a lot of famous engineers like Chris Lord-Alge and Dave Pensato, but there are more people I learn from, watching their YouTube videos. Musically, I find myself inspired by some of the old music I used to listen to, like Rancid. Still a huge Sublime fan. A lot of the West Coast reggae bands, and I've had a lot of artists that come in that I've recorded that inspire me too, that have really made some amazing music. And when I see that, and I see other people that are super creative that aren't famous and that aren't signed and they aren't selling out stadiums or anything, those guys inspire me too. I didn't. My friend did. An old client of mine, I say client roughly because I wasn't charging him for studio time. He was a friend, and I think his girlfriend came up with it, and he's like, you should name a Vocal Link production. And after having a long list of names, I liked it, so I kept it. West Coast. I got into hip hop from Tupac, and even like Bone Thugs. I know they're not necessarily West Coast, but they were brought on by Eazy-E. Definitely West Coast, hands down, all day. I like some of it. Some of it's a little too much, but I can get into it. There's one guy, I think his name is Amir. His shit is dope. It took a while for me to get into it, but after recording a lot of the clients I have that are, I guess more on the trap side, I got into it more, and it can be cool. It can be trashy, and nobody can deny that, but it can be really cool too. Tim Campbell, Vocal Link Production. The studio is located at 22 North Mulberry Street, Suite 18. You can also find me on all social media.
All right.
Nice. Thanks, dude.